Hello, my name is Ms. Jacinta Winke. Today we are going to be adding and subtracting numbers under 100. This satisfies the math standard 2.NBT.B.5. Students, that really doesn't pertain to you. It does to the teachers, so you don't have to pay attention to that part, but for the rest of this, please pay attention. So, a quick glimpse of what we're going to be learning today is we are going to be solving problems like this and finding out what the answer would be. So real quick, this is what, by the end of this lesson, you will know how to do, and you will find that this will be the answer. So throughout this lesson, you'll understand how I find this, that 1 plus 12 is 13. So please pay attention and watch as we go along. Okay, so background information. We are going to be talking about units and place values. So we're going to call this one, this is what you know as the ones, we're going to call it the units. Because units, when we draw these out, are going to be these little bitty squares. And then you know this place as the tens place, because it'll have double digits. So in the ones place, it's the first digit, so that'd be this place. And then the tens place is usually the second one, which is right here again. Okay, we're going to call this the long, because we are going to draw it like a long rectangle, because it has 10 of these lines in it, or 10 blocks in it, which make up 10 units, make up one long. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whoops, I forgot one, 10 long, or 10 units in one long. And then we have our hundreds place, which we usually see as 3 lines, because this is our units, this is our tens place, and then this is our hundreds place. So when we talk about hundreds, we usually call it a flat, which is a really big square. But since I don't have that much space, I'm going to draw it in blue. So I'm going to keep these colors so we can easily understand what we're doing for the rest of this time. Okay, so for our place values, yellow is our units, green is our longs. So our longs are the ones that would be in the second digit place, like this is, and then our units is what would be in the first place. So units are tiny little squares that are yellow, and longs are long ones. So let's say we want to write 34. So we know that we need 4 units. Whoops, I guess I better make a line so we don't count those again. We know that we need 4 units, which is 4 little cubes, because that is how many is in the ones place. And then this one is in our tens place, so then we know that we need 3 long units. So that is how we would draw this out. The bigger the number, the more blocks that you need. So for example, let's do a really big number now. So let's go with 87. That is a huge number. But we can do it, because we know that our longs are going to be the 8, and our units are going to be the 7. So here's our units, and we know we need 7 of them. So we're going to do 7 blocks. Here's 1, here's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I did them by 2s because it's easier for me to count by 2s. So then for our longs, we know that we're going to need 8. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So there we go. We got 8 longs and 7 units, because all of these longs are equivalent to 10 little units. I don't know if I can draw enough lines in here because it's so small, but you get the idea, because there's that many in here that it works. So let's start with a simple problem. We'll go single digits, that way it's easier for us to learn how to add. So single digit wise, we're going to do the number 6 plus 2. So we're going to find out what that equals. But first, so we know that we're going to have 6 little blocks, because that 6 is in the units place. And then 2 is also in the units place, so it's only going to have 2. So now we just have to count our blocks. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So really what we could have done was just known that this was 6 blocks and then just gone straight up to here and added 7 and 8. But either way, we know now that our answer is 8. Okay, so we're going to move on to double digits. We're going to do pretty numbers, so we'll pick 20 plus 30, and we are going to find out what that equals. So we know our units is supposed to be here, but it's 0, so we have nothing to add. So we're going to keep this straight and simple and all organized, so we're going to see how many longs we need from each number. So this one has 2 longs, so we're going to have that. Now our 30 has 3 longs. Now the reason why they have longs instead of units is because they're in the tens place. Tens are the longs. If I am confusing you now, you might want to go back to the beginning of the video to re-see this. But moving on with where we are now. Now we can add up the longs that we have. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we have 5 longs, and because we have no units, our number is 50. Okay, so now we're on to subtracting single digits. So the numbers we're going to do is 8 minus 3. And we're going to find out what that equals. So we're dealing with units again, so we're going to need 8 squares here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whoops, and 8. Okay, and then we can also draw our 3 cubes here. This is one way to do it. And then we can cross out the 3 by matching them up with a cube from the 8, or a square from the 8. So then we can see and count that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. So we know that 5 is going to be our answer. But another way to do this is, instead of drawing these extra squares, is we could just cross out 1, 2, 3. And then our answer would be the ones remaining that goes up here. So then we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which would be 5. Whoops. Which would be 5 as our answer. Okay, so now we're on to subtracting double digits. So we'll do 35 minus 21. And we're going to find out what that equals. So we're going to have our units place, and then we're going to have our longs. So we're going to keep this separate with the black lines so we don't get them all mixed up. So we'll start with this side, and we know we're going to need 5 units. So there's our units, and then we know we're going to need 3 longs. There we go. Okay, and then we'll go over here, and we know that we need 1 unit, and that we need 2 longs. Okay, I personally like crossing them out, because then I can physically see that I had all my numbers, and I am crossing out the correct number. So I'm going to cross them out, but you can do it the other method where you just draw the bigger number and cross out the number that your second number or your smaller number. But we're going to cross out both of them. So here's 1 unit, and then we're going to cross out 2 longs because 21 is what we're subtracting from 35. So what we have left now is 1 long and 4 units. So our units place is 4, and our longs place is the 1. So our answer for 35 minus 21 is 14. Okay, so we're going to subtract again, but I'm going to show you a problem that a lot of people will have problems on because our unit places will not be so easily to subtract. So let's draw out what we got so we can see what we need to do different. So we know we're going to have 2 here, and we're going to have 7 over here. So that much hasn't changed. Okay, and then we're going to have our 2 units on this side, and we're going to have our 3 units on this side. I'm going to draw this one over here a little bit because you'll see. So we have 2, and we have no more units on the left side. So what we're going to do is we're going to break this one down because it has all the pieces. It is equivalent to 10 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. And so we're going to break this one down into the 10 units. And then we will be able to finish subtracting our units because we have enough now. So as we continue, we're going to see that we're going to end up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I took out too many. There we go. So now we are going to see that we have. So now we're going to take away our remaining longs that we have, and we are going to find that this is our answer. So that is 5 units, so we can write that up here. So our answer is 5 units. So we had to move around our longs and reorganize it so we could subtract correctly.